Meanwhile, angry black detective, who looks a lot more professional than in the last scene, has gotten a hold of the missing model's laptop, which is also outdated. She goes through her emails and finds that this chick is really sick.
Boyfriends? Girlfriends? Her master? Now that's sick.
Looks through the emails that the girl received until she finds one that has to do with Harold's website.
Ew. That's nasty.
Really? Illustrations of a butcher shop grosses you out? You just see what the animals are a metaphor for. She keeps alluding to how she's disgusted and looks down on these girls for being internet models, which I'm not really sure why. She finds his site, Slaughtered Sheep, but finds you need to register for the site. And so instead of just making a account linked to a fake email, she keeps trying to guess passwords and usernames. It's an account-based site. Guessing a username is useless. Harold gets rid of the electrocuted model's body and car and manages to pick up a prostitute who he kills with cut shots and photographs. Getting a bit sloppy there with the murders, aren't we? He is then visited by a horrible movie effect, and in one of the most hilarious wake scares ever, he just jumps up from his desk and storms away. He doesn't even just go like, wah, ha, ha. No, he has to be like, wah, and he just like goes flying, and I don't understand why. He then returns to his computer to have a tantrum about how he's sick of having the same kind of victims. He's then held at gunpoint by a sister of the model, and he seems so pressured by this that he seems to forget his lines.
Inquiries, maybe she... You know, a lot of them don't pan out.
No.
He's able to overpower the sister, and she fails to flee and ends up in his next shoot. Back to the detective. She starts piecing together the deaths and disappearances. She calls up a better detective who she sleeps with to help her with cases and ask him to look up info for her. So she judges these girls for being internet models, but she sleeps with detectives in case they could be of help to her. She does this again later with another detective to help her make an account for Harold's website.
Hi, Ralphie. He's so cute. Yeah. I need you to do me a favor.
Hypocrisy? Yay! Harold starts hearing voices, kills the sister, who manages to only blink once after being killed. Harold responds to an email of an older-looking model, while the typing doesn't match up to the typing scroll on the screen. The bad movie effect returns, and turns out it's actually the ghost of the models and girls he's killed. Wow. It looks like someone found the color pencil option on Windows Movie Maker. The ghosts leave, and his green screen turns into a flashback of scenes from the film. And then we have an unrelated to the plot moment, I guess to remind us that it's Halloween?
Hey, mister, trick or treat.
Aren't you guys a little old to be trick-or-treating?
Oh, come on, mister, be a sport.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
Thanks, mister. You know, you ain't so bad. We heard you was a real prick. We're sorry about what we did to your car. God damn it, you spoiled little brats!
Next victim has a long change scene that is interrupted by Ghost. Oh, I wanted to hear the catchy change music. While the model is doing her change scene, Harold uncharacteristically is cleaning his camera lens. In all the other previous scenes, he was looking at the screen watching the girls change. So this girl must be really unattractive to him for him to be like, oh man, look at this dirty lens. Let me just clean that naked shit. Psh, no. Older looking model is probably the best actress in the whole film, but she's just thrown in there at the last minute. She should have been a victim early on in the movie with a really long scene or something, because she is definitely the best actress. The bad effect comes back to save her and argues with Harold, and then the weirdest effect happens ever. What is that? Is that a monster vagina? It's just so ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Black detective arrives way too late, and older model comes off as crazy because of it.
I'm not gonna explain this shit. Explain this shit.
And that was slaughtered. Was it not all I promised? The acting for Harold is horrible. You can really tell that the guy playing Harold is a really nice guy, and he just can't play a horrible role. He tries to be villainous by cussing a lot, and that doesn't help. And only time he's ever really doing any good acting is when he's playing a nice person, and that's just supposed to be pretend him being nice. The computers are horrendous. The whole movie I wanted to make Windows 95 jokes. The photo shoots were full of inconsistencies and blinking. I mean, I will never forget the handcuff chick. If you want to see a low-budget murder film, then go for this. It's really, really bad, but I still think it's really fun. As far as Halloween movies go, Halloween's barely relevant in this movie at all. Well, I did give a goth's perspective for the movie Goth because goths were relevant, but I think it might be cool if I do a goth perspective for every movie that I do that's somewhat horror, low budget genre maybe. So from a goth perspective on this movie, I'm going to say that, well, the main character, his goth clothes are lovely, I have to admit, but he can't play a villain really well. So, here's my advice to someone making a low-budget film. If you have a goth friend, it doesn't mean he's going to make a good villain. He will probably make a better protagonist, maybe, depending on their actual personality, especially if they have no acting background whatsoever. Really, it's really hard to give a goth perspective on this movie. I mean, I personally enjoyed watching it, and I personally enjoyed writing the script for the review, and I personally enjoyed reviewing this film. But that's because it's just so much fun to poke fun at. I think maybe if the computers were updated, the effects were better, and the lead role was replaced with someone who could actually play evil murderer, this movie had potential. And that's it. It's really all about potential. Oh, and if they got rid of the she's borderline offensive, the borderline offensive detective. Because she keeps talking about she has, like, high blood pressure, and she's angry all the time. And she even does that I'm getting too old for this line. And I was like, really? Really, that line? Oh, gosh. This is Dismantling, and this movie has been dismantled. Oh, how long has my hair been like that?